This is the Day After series. This time, well, I'm kind of cheating a little bit because 4 weeks ago we started a new tattoo. As you can see right here, my stomach. Finally we started a new project on my stomach. 4 weeks ago we did the outline, but there was really nothing much to talk about for the day after. So I figured let's smush that little section into today's video after the fill-in session. Last night we did the fill-in. And so, real quick, well actually a little bit of news first. I'm in a new place. I moved again. This is a new unit in the complex. It's a lot more open. I have a larger living room. It's very nice, very nice. Nice sized kitchen with marble countertops. Very nice, very nice. So I got my nice balcony. Now, of course, instead of looking at the parking lot, I actually get to look at the courtyard, which has a pool and a lake, nice lake in the middle, and I have some nice trees, except for right now because it's fall. Well, actually, we do get a nice, very good red tree over there. Maybe I'll show you that at the end of the video. I don't want to move the camera right now, but I have a nice open area of the sky. It's very nice. I like this location. Now, I didn't just move into a new unit. Also, my job actually moved from one town over a couple of towns. And the good news about that is it moved from a town that was further away to a town that's closer. Actually, it's in my town right now, the same town as my apartment complex. My job is now on the other side of town, so I save a lot of time from having to drive a long distance. Now, it's right quick, just down the road. Very nice, very happy about that. So, and it's been great. You know, the new location's been great, and I can't complain. So, because of that, the tattoo parlor, I have to take a different route to get to the tattoo parlor. Now, ironically, it's faster. Even though I think I did go a bit further away from the tattoo parlor. Like, it's more mileage. However, the way to get there is faster. The roads are less congested. I can go straight up one of the main streets for like a few dozen miles, and then just quickly turn onto the main street of the town the tattoo parlor is in, and it's not too bad at all, not too bad. Back at the other location, because I go get my tattoo after work, and then I'll go to the tattoo parlor closes. Usually those how I make my appointments. And so I used to take this one main street that went pretty much straight through to the tattoo parlor, except it was a very, very busy and highly congested road. So now that I'm on this now I'm going from my new work location, for some reason there's less congested road, and it makes for a faster trip. Fantastic. Used to take like an hour and a half to get there. Now it only takes 1 hour. Of course, traffic was really good. We'll see what happens next time. If it's the same, I'm anticipating it to be pretty much the same. So, 4 weeks ago we did the fill-in of the stomach tattoo. My own design, of course. And of course, as always, I wanted to look well with the tattoos around it, which I did very well with that. It blends well. Of course, it's a little off-putting for me, honestly, right now, because I really need to get these side pieces, which I don't know what they are yet. I'm still in the design phase. I actually just finished designing another piece for my back, which we'll talk about next time. But as for like the rest of my front, as you can see, my front is almost pretty much complete. I'm just missing these side pieces on the side. But today we're just here to talk about the newest tattoo, the stomach, right in the middle of the stomach. And the outline, there's nothing to talk about the outline. You know, we got the stencil on, he did the outline, it was fine. The only interesting part about that was I have had a navel piercing. We kept the navel piercing in for the outline, which made it a little difficult to get around because the top hole of the navel piercing is actually, the tattoo goes right on top of it. Yeah, right above the navel, where the piercing would have come out. That's where all of that is now black, as you can see. The outline, he just had to kind of go around it, the outline. And then the outline wasn't painful. I get home, I sleep, clean it the next morning. Not too much to talk about. What I really want to talk about is the fill-in, what we did last night, the fill-in. Now, so I get there. Of course, great trip there. I get there, and he's finishing up another patient, and so I just wait a little bit. And then we basically, I just sit down and we get started right away. Just get started, because you just start filling in after the outline, right? Immediately, well, because it's been 4 weeks since I've gotten any tattoo, and the last time it was an outline. So this time it was actually the fill-in. Fill-ins versus outlines are always different. So a lot of people will say the outline is the more striking pain, heightened sensitivity pain, and then the fill-in is more of like a deeper, all-around kind of pain sensation. So it's different. However, when he first started, when I laid down, I set up my camera, I laid down, he started tattooing. Ooh, immediately I was like, ooh, wow, ooh, ow. Okay, that hurts. Of course. Well, tattoos hurt. We all know this. But yeah, I guess it was just took a little time to get used to being in the chair again, right? Of course, he started on top, and all these top pieces are actually on the lower ribs, and it's really tight skin on the ribs and whatnot, and so that was pretty intense with pain. Not very comfortable. Actually, most of the procedure was not comfortable. Most of it was pretty. I was just trying to focus on other things other than the pain, as we do. But going around, especially in the middle, when he was going down the center of my body, that had a lot of increased pain sensations right down that center. And then but as he was going down, when you're getting more onto like the lower stomach area, the more intestinal kind of region down there around the belly button, that area, well, I have a little bit more fat around that area, and so it was a little bit more comfortable doing that little area around the belly button. That was probably the least worrisome area according to like a pain tolerance. So all in all, this tattoo, painful. I would say about 7 out of 10. Okay, pretty darn painful, and then especially once you got to the very, very low spikes that go out. It still hurts. Okay, I'm trying not to bend, because every time I bend the area, it hurts. Okay, it's very, very sensitive and sore still, as it is. I don't know if you can tell, but it's very still red around the upper portions, especially around those little spiky areas right there. Very red still. But those lowest points, really heightened sensitive pain. But of course, when you're doing, I think he was using a single needle rather than a multi-needle, because you do use a multi-needle for the fill-in most of the time. And then when you're on the little areas, like the little tips of the spikes, you want to do a single needle so that you make sure you don't, so you can actually stay in the lines, of course. Obviously, single needle, like I said, more heightened sensitivity, more pain sensation with that. For the most part, yeah. And so the other interesting part was back up to just above the belly button, around that the top navel exit, the top navel hole. We took the piercing out this time, of course, so he can fill in around that the hole. I still haven't put it back in. I actually don't know if I want to put it back in. Let's say that. Not sure. It's always been a thing where, yeah, I really like my navel piercing. But my running joke is people with body piercings, we have this fear of nets. Okay, nets or mesh, because nets or mesh, they'll get caught on piercings and yank them, and so there's this rational given fear to anybody with piercings, you know, and because they can get snagged or hooked and whatnot. And so every time I'm in the shower, you know, using my loofah, which is, you know, like a mesh, the loofah usually gets caught on, like, if I'm using a loofah like on my neck or on my cheekbones or whatnot, the loofah will get caught in my ear piercings, those spiky ear piercings. So a lot of times I don't take them out. Like a lot of people will probably say, why don't you just take them out for the shower? No, I keep them in, I'll just hold the piercing and then scrub and whatever I need to do. And then, so, I mean, that's pretty much the only piercing I have right now that's exposed is the navel, which I don't know if I want to put back in, and then the ears, which I love my little ear piercings. But so it was fun going around that navel hole at the top. He was doing his best to get as close to the hole as possible to get that whole area tattooed black, and he did a fairly good job. I don't want to move it or contort it right now because it's very sensitive. Of course, the pain of the fresh tattoo is very very sensitive right now. And eventually, once the scab falls off, I'll really investigate to see next time if we may need to get a little bit closer. Of course, the other idea is that if I do keep the navel piercing out and don't want to put it back in, I'll have the area around will go back to more of a normal state, because the navel piercing actually caused an indentation of the skin as well as, you know, the hole, of course. I'm guessing that the indentation will go away. The hole, I don't think it'll ever close completely, but because just like I had a cheek piercing and the hole never really closed completely, I still have like a permanent dimple now. And so I'm not sure how that's going to look in a few weeks, a few months when the skin normalizes again. Of course, right now it's very sensitive with the fresh tattoo and everything. But you know, give it a week, 2 weeks, and once all the scab falls off, then we'll really be able to investigate more closer and see what happens. And so that's that. That was the procedure pretty much. Going home wasn't too bad. Of course, the pressure underneath the bandages increased as I went home. Of course, funny thing, my trip home is faster now. I take the same route back towards work and then straight over back to my place. It's a lot better than the other route I used to take. So good news there. But so I get home and take it off. Not too much blood. The blood was really more so in the middle. I had blood on the middle and these lower spikes. There wasn't really much blood on these top open spiked areas. Wasn't really much on the top, but the middle, yeah, the middle and around the belly button, and then these spikes going down around the belly button. Pretty much that whole bottom lower area was the part that really bled a lot. But so I get home, rehydrate, of course, like I always do, and lay down a clean towel and went to bed. Now sleeping wasn't too bad as long as I didn't move so much. Sleeping is always a challenge because a lot of times I'll sleep on my side, or even like almost on my stomach, but I'll always have like my leg up on the bed in like a angle. Like I always have like my leg bent up so that it creates like a little crevice, a pocket for my lungs to be able to still breathe, if you can understand that aspect. Sleeping wasn't too bad. I did get a good night's sleep, and then of course I woke up, and waking up, it was you know, getting out of bed was challenging, honestly, because when you want to get out of bed, you can either, like, in a weird way, kind of roll your feet around and then try to stand up, but you know, either way, your middle area right here is gonna contort, it's gonna bend in some way, and every time I got out of bed, it hurt, you know, just doing it. And of course, bending over, I can't bend over, you know, I'm trying not to bend that area when I bend over because, yeah, it hurts. Even right now I can feel it, you know, just moving a little bit, bending, moving a little bit, it hurts. Completely normal, right? Of course, but not very comfortable. So, but that's part of the experience. It's funny because the artist got these new, they're like cloth pad things made out of some kind of plastic, and it's supposed to, it's got some kind of chemical on it, which you can put it on the area of the tattoo, and it's like a permanent 24-hour like bandage type thing, and it suppresses the feeling of a tattoo, which I think that's blasphemy. That's not cool at all. Getting a tattoo, you need to have the experience of the healing process. Now, of course, like I have said in the past, I have had the full tattoo experience by not using any kind of ointments or healing agent. Most of the time I use A&D ointment, like right now. I don't know if you can tell, it's a little shiny because I got the A&D ointment on it. That's pretty much the only thing I'll ever use. But I have gone the full way of no ointment at all. Just let it rest with no added help for anything. You know, I'll go in the shower, clean it all nice, and then just pat it dry and let it stay like that, which just prolongs the healing process. Any kind of added ointment or healing agent or numbing cream, it's all going to help heal the tattoo quicker, but it takes away from the real raw experience of getting a tattoo. A&D ointment I'll only do because it really helps to prevent infection. Although I do live a pretty clean life, you always want to be careful still. So I was just joking with him, saying, you know, why would anybody want to use a product like that, taking away the full experience of getting a tattoo? But you know, tattoos have become pretty mainstream in our culture over here in America. So a lot of people get tattoos. A lot of people at different ages get tattoos, and you know, it's the future where we're all finding different ways to do things. Healthcare technology is always advancing, and people like always had the thought of how to make a tattoo not hurt, not be painful, how to make the healing process faster and whatnot. I just don't like that because I'm TribalLu. I'm trying to do things as they did way back in the day when tattoos were first starting. Back when people actually just got black lines on them. You know, all the tribes that did that. That's where I'm coming from. I want to fully experience getting a full body tattoo with all of that tattoo experience that comes with it. I didn't want to take anything away from that. So even though I say I use pain, the word pain in all my videos. Yes, it's painful. Yes, I'm in pain right now. Yes, it hurts. But it's part of the experience, and it's making me a stronger person, inside and out. So, I guess that's it for this episode. We talked about everything we needed to. I'm just going to continue to enjoy this healing process, as I always do. I love that healing process, especially when the scab really hardens and then starts to crack and fall off. That's fun, you know. it's a little messy, but it's fun. So I'm going to just continue to relax. I don't have to go back to work for another few days, and enjoy this while I can. So let's end this episode with showing you that lovely red tree. It is autumn right now. It is the middle of November, and we got some very nice trees. So let's go show you this one right here. Nice, lovely red tree out there. So you see I got a pretty nice view, nice red tree out there. It's a little cloudy today, but that's autumn for you. So, as always, it's been Lucien Gray. Until next time.